So I first got introduced to FCA when I was a high school athlete, and I hadn't accepted Christ at that point in my life, but I had a coach who was influential in my life invite me to a huddle meeting.
And there was a coach who would stay in the weight room before and after school, and that was Darren Sissel. And so for about a year and a half, I was staying after school to work out and just trying to be like a little meathead. And he was always in there, and I gravitated towards him just because he was relational and he loved working out. My sophomore year, one day, he was like, "Hey, you should come to FCA." And I was like, "What is FCA?" And he goes, "Fellowship of Christian Athletes." And I was like, hard pass. My dad, who's a Muslim, who lives over in Dubai, if he found out that I went to a Christian event, he would kill me. Well, there's free pizza after football practice on Tuesdays after FCA. So I was like, I'll see you on Tuesday at FCA after football practice.
I came to know Jesus in high school, but didn't really have anyone to teach me. And then coming to college, I was able to have people start pouring into my life, especially through FCA and other organizations in the church that I found here. And that's been really impactful for me.
I got involved in FCA in middle school when a teacher came up to me and just said like, "Hey, I've seen you in the hallways, whatever. I think you should come to this meeting after school. It'd be really cool." And so I came with a couple friends.
That whole process of being at FCA and hearing about the testimony of some of these teammates that I respected, it just messed with my heart. I started exploring. I wanted to figure out what this looked like. And through that process, that journey, FCA, I think it was HLC, Huddle Leader Conference, that was going on that summer. And Darren's like, "Hey, I think you should go to this." And when he told me the price, I was like, "Yeah, that's not happening." And he's like, "No, FCA has stuff in place for, if somebody's struggling financially." And so he made it to where I was able to go to this camp.
After serving a few camps with FCA, I really saw the need to make disciples and had a desire for my team to come to know Jesus on a very, very deep and personal level. And through that, I was really passionate and wanted to start a Bible study on my team. And through that, we have actually seen salvation of our teammates, which has been really, really cool. And it's brought a lot of unity in our team.
Our huddle has grown immensely in the last 4 years. We literally started from not existing in the building. In our first year, we had about 15 to 20 active members. And this year, today, we've been able to count upwards of 90 plus students actively engaging with FCA and the gospel.
What I love about this story is the relationship between staff and a coach, but I also love the connection of the community and volunteers through our board members, and then also the connection to the church, because in our mission statement is to lead every coach and athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and his church.
When I first started the Bible study, it was super hard because I felt like I was doing it all alone. I felt like I had like 20 girls that I was trying to disciple, which wasn't reasonable. So through a lot of prayer and asking the Lord to bring people along, the Lord actually used the local church to bring people to disciple my teammates. And we have someone from our church that helps lead our Bible study so I can be fully present.
We took, I think we had like 23 or 24 guys registered for FCA Guys Weekend this past winter or this past spring. And of that, 3 of the kids surrendered their life to Christ. And they're like, "Coach, where do we go now?" And so now we're walking through the discipleship module through our church. It's like, I'm so reminded of like what my purpose and what my vision and my mission is here. And it has zero to do with X's and O's, wins and losses. Don't get me wrong, I still use that as a platform, right? I want to be excellent in those things, but if it is to teach these young men about Jesus and what it looks like to follow him, like that's what it's for.
The advice that I would give to coaches to balance being a competitor and ensuring that they are glorifying God in the process, I would look to the verse Matthew 6:33 that says, "Seek first his righteousness and his kingdom, and that of which will be given to you."
Living out my faith as an athlete looks like trying to exemplify Jesus in every single way, especially when I walk into the wrestling room. It looks like actually asking the Lord how I'm supposed to serve my teammates rather than just coming in and thinking it's for myself.
For the Christian athletes, for the Christian coaches, for the Christian teachers, if my heart's set on making much of his name and not my name, I think we live a lot easier path in regards of like the struggle of like, am I doing the right thing? Persecution is going to come. We know that, right? Like that's going to happen. But I just want to encourage, like, the boldness and the courage comes from the Lord, from being with the Lord.
I spent a lot of time before my relationship with Christ seeing how I can fulfill that, how I can fulfill my wants and desires without seeking outside of myself. And once I come to learn and accept that there's a power greater than me, and that all I need to do is seek Him and it will be given to me, that allowed me to ease the pressure off of me and trying to build who I am. Instead, now I am seeking to build who He is and make Him known.
I think that is probably the biggest thing that I've had to learn and accept, that like I don't, like what I'm doing here on earth does not matter if it's not for Him. So